Hmm.
Yeah.
Big up the one named Fred Kerley.
Yes, sir.
What you saying, Doc?
Chilling, living a little bit,
Oh
bro.
yeah, yo, it looks cold, man. You got your burglar hat on and everything, yo.
Raining. I'm in LA, bro.
Why you got that? Why you got that toucan, yo?
There's not no Tuki, just a beardless hat.
Oh, what you saying though?
Yeah,
So you getting ready to run the Melrose?
no.
Y'all piss me off with this indoor stuff, man. Y'all are the
What?
reason people don't watch indoors, man. It's all you.
Hey, you see, I'm quiet this year. There's no entertainment without me.
I'm
True Frost.
saying, okay, look, I know you're entertaining, but I'm just saying we should be mad at you then for not
You
being
can't
out
be.
there because we need
You
some
can't be
entertainment.
mad at me. You can't be
But
mad at me.
we need some entertainment though. So
No,
what?
you got the people that y'all want to entertain me. They all in the sport right now.
Who
Those
who
y'all entertainment.
who know Noah's our entertainment?
All you guys. Those y'all entertainment. Let them entertain y'all. Right? Those those y'all entertainment, right?
Don't say y'all. Please don't say y'all. Look, man, I've been very clear about my stances. Yo, but I will say this. Noah gets track and field in conversations. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you do too, though.
What? I'm due to what?
Obvious. You get track and field in conversations too.
Oh, I'm Fred Kerley. I'm always gonna be in a conversation.
Yo, but you're good. Are you good though? You good?
I'm
You good?
blessed. I'm
Okay.
living.
Okay, cool. How's training going?
Friend is going good. Got
Yeah.
smaller. Yeah.
Who are you smaller? Like you're under 200 pounds now?
You're like 193.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Just a lot of going on. Real life shit, bro.
Oh, you just it's one of them things. Huh? Okay,
Yeah,
I hear you. I hear
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Get your shit together, Doc. You this is people. There's some people hunting this year, man. You
Yeah.
know, the
That,
year
yeah.
after the Olympics, people are trying to smoke the medalists. So you know people
At
coming for
least, at
you.
least, at least, I ain't the one that got the gold medal. That's the one that get hunted the most.
You think so?
Of course.
Yeah, I know,
I'm just
man.
in the background. You feel me?
You
I've been
prefer
quiet.
you prefer
I've
that?
been quiet. I'm back to the silent man.
You prefer to be in the background?
Of course.
You do most of your damage when you're
Yeah.
out of the spotlight, man. I will say that. I will say
What's that
that.
trying to tell you? Say no more.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
That's why I know a lot of times I usually don't have you in my picks. You
Yeah.
end up coming through. As soon as I pick you, you probably start running like shit, dog.
Oh,
Don't want that. Where you at, dog? You have Chick-fil-A or something?
nah, I'm at a breakfast joint.
Okay. But yeah, man, you even watch any indoor stuff?
I ain't, I fuck. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I forgot track was really going on right now.
That's why I can't stand y'all, man. If y'all don't even watch it, if y'all ain't
I
watch it,
did.
why the fuck
I
should anyone else
didn't
watch
really
it, yo?
know. I didn't really know track was going on for professionals until I log on to Twitter, and I'm really haven't been on Twitter like that either.
Y'all are tripping,
How we
man.
tripping? We got long season.
Okay, so what? We're supposed to only care about 1 week of the whole year?
What indoors like 2 3 weeks of the whole year.
Okay,
Make it make sense.
but it's in February. We're in February,
February. It's
so
for
there's
you
stuff to talk
Canadian.
about.
It's for
There's
you
stuff.
Canadian guys and European guys.
That's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life.
But
Because the world
indoor
record
came from
the world record holder
European.
the world record holder
You
is American.
same boat.
What? I'm talking about in the
The
'60s.
word. Okay.
Okay, and before that, the world record holder was American. Okay, so I don't want to
Okay.
hear no shit about no Canadian shit. The fact of the matter is, it's
But
not about the
yo,
weather, dog.
the
It's not
problem
about the
is
weather,
the
dog.
problem
It's a
is
different type of
Anson.
race.
Anson. The problem is indoor is for you Canadian Negroes.
I'll say this
And
again. I'll say this again. The world record holder is American.
yes, we
Okay,
know
the gold and silver medalists last year,
it's
American.
American. Okay.
Okay, do you guys want to be good in everything, or you just want to be
We
like,
know we good at
we don't care about
we
the inner
know
shit. You know what I'm saying? We just
yeah,
care
we know
about the
we good at
outdoor shit.
everything, but the problem is only you Canadians, Anson,
Let me make something very clear. Let me make something very clear. Yeah? People are bored, except for 1 week of the
Yeah,
year in
people
track and
is born.
field. In track and field,
People is born.
for 1 week. 1 week, we're supposed to be excited,
Huh?
and then
But
everyone in the sport is like,
outdoor
well,
bring all the
well,
excitements out though.
why don't people want to be into it more? Because it's only 1 week to be excited about.
Hmm.
Because everyone in the sport's like, well, nothing else really matters. It's only
Hey,
1 week that matters.
the whole world, we all gonna be excited for outdoors.
No, you
Yes,
guys are going to be excited for outdoors.
the
And
whole
track
world,
pundits,
gonna be excited for outdoors.
y'all don't get it,
You,
man. You know
you
what?
don't get it.
I definitely do get it. And I'll tell you right now, people are bored and getting boreder.
People bored of
So
watching indoor.
look, if there was stars running indoors, people are going to watch indoors.
Y'all, so y'all saying it's not stars running indoor? Saying that?
I'm saying there's not
Now,
that
what you
many. There
saying? You said
couldn't there
stars. So you
there
saying stars
there.
not running indoors right now?
I'm saying there's no stars running. That's my point. There's no stars
So you saying?
running.
So you
There's
saying the people at New Balance say no stars?
no. I'm saying okay. Look. There was a couple stars. It's a couple stars. I'm saying if the majority of the stars ran,
Mm-hmm.
the majority of the fans would watch. It's plain and simple, dog.
Like who?
But
It's
everyone
more.
wants to be like, you want to know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. Indoors was a big deal until Bolt came on the scene and was murdering everybody without indoors.
Well, that's
And
a
then
good thing, right?
no,
Staying
it's not
healthy is
because
a good thing, right?
people only wanted to watch him.
Oh,
People were like, well, I
okay,
want to
that's
see Bolt,
good.
so I don't care about it. I'm gonna watch Bolt. No, it's not good because Bolt's gone, and so are his fans. So you got to make some other shit exciting,
Both
dog. That's what I'm trying
fans
to
is
say.
not gone. They still watching. It's just not on the hoorah.
They're watching, waiting for
Okay,
Bolt.
okay,
Okay, and he's not coming back.
we
So
know
what are
that.
you guys gonna do?
Hmm?
So what are you guys gonna do? He's
Make
gone.
that money. Make that money.
Oh my gosh, man. All right, man. Y'all just let it keep dwindling away. I'm trying to say, y'all might as well. You guys got international coverage on indoor meets.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't stars want to get in front of the camera internationally? You know how much the broadcasters cost for these indoor
And so,
meets?
if we was European, right,
Holy
or
fuck.
Canadian, we'd be good. But we not, Anson. We got to make that money, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, if you want to make money, you got to make
Hmm.
the sport more interesting.
Well,
Okay.
you got lame ass Negroes over the sport.
Okay. Well, why don't some of the cool kids do some indoors?
I'm not cool. I'm out the way. I don't need to be cool.
All right, man. I mean, look, I'm not even gonna argue with y'all about this no more, man.
But
Y'all
but
can
but
just
you,
let it,
but
y'all
since
can let it
but
just
since
drift.
so
Let it
so but
drift.
you saying no stars running indoors, Anson?
I'm saying there's not enough stars running it.
So tell me who all the stars is now. So
All the stars?
mhm.
Well, I mean, that's a silly question, dog. I'm supposed to name off all the stars in track and field, dog.
No, but
I'll say
you
this.
don't want to say,
I'll
but
say this.
you
I'll say
can.
this. I'll say this. You should be doing indoors. You're
I should.
you're a big name. Okay.
I
Uh,
should.
okay, you should be doing video. Okay, Noah's doing some indoors. Keyshane's doing some indoors. Marcel's doing some indoors. You go on the women's side. Shakari should be
But
doing indoors. Julian's doing indoors.
mhm.
Um, who else on the women's side? Gabby, I don't know. She could jump in some 300s or some shit, and I don't know, do some shit. She should be doing some indoors. Yo, big names should be doing indoors, dog.
You right.
I know I'm right.
But
I'm
have
just trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to
was
tell
your
you.
indoor
No
time?
one's watching because no stars are running. Yo.
Were you just started Canada?
Was I the star in Canada?
Yeah.
Fuck that got to do with anything,
I'm
dog.
just asking the
I'll t-
question though.
I'll tell you this. I made a lot of money indoors.
That's cool.
Right. Okay.
But
Now we're
hey,
talking about
but
if we're
one of my check indoors equal to your whole salary.
okay, but guess what?
What?
In a couple of years, no one's gonna know who you are, dog, because the sport
That's
moves on.
cool.
Right. The
That's
sport moves
cool.
on. Okay.
That's
So what
cool.
you might as well do is
That's cool.
contribute to the sport. What you might as well do is contribute to the sport and make sure that the
Hmm.
sport moves on after you, dog. Because
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is, every stars that were bigger than you, dog, are forgotten
That's
because the
cool.
sport's dwindling off after these boring guys
But
that don't want to do shit.
I'm gonna just tell you through the people in the '90s messed it up for all
We
us
didn't mess up
though.
shit. Y'all messed it
Yes,
up for everyone else.
I
Listen
ain't
to me,
messed it
dog.
up.
In the
What?
90s, indoors was huge. And them cats were making real money. I got an interview coming out with Michael Johnson talking about real money these cats are making, dog. It's y'all that are messing up trying to be y'all are load managing.
You you know how much?
Y'all are some load managing sprinters, dog.
Yep.
Fucking
Okay,
up the sport. Look, I'm trying to tell you, dog. You can listen or not. Have a sip of your drink, dog. I'm trying to tell you what's happening, dog. But you can make your money, but the sport can dwindle away, yo. That's all I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
You can do whatever you can say whatever you want, dog. But the reality is, you can take your fat check and let the sport die. Is what I'm trying to say, dog. Hooray for you, Fred Kerley. Hooray for you. Y'all might as well make indoors pop, yo. That's what I'm trying to say. You got nothing else to lose.
But Anson, but why run indoor when you can run outdoor?
You can still, Fred. Listen. You guys are supposed to be the most. Let me answer the question. You guys are supposed to be the best specimens athletically in the world. Okay? You can't run an indoor season and then run an outdoor season.
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
The supreme specimens in track and field.
That's not what I'm saying.
Well, this
that's
is what
not
it
what I'm
sounds
saying.
like. I'll say what it sounds like.
So why risk indoor when you can get hurt faster? True.
You can
get one check and equal the whole indoor season for one track meet outdoors.
Fred, here's a newsflash, dog. You could still get that check outside. And the check gets fatter if the sport gets bigger. So I don't know if you got a cap on the amount of money you want to make. If there's a cap, is there a cap on this certain amount of money you want to make?
Oh, no, I'm blessed.
Okay. That's not what I'm asking you.
No,
is there a cap, or do you want to make more?
Never no cap on what
so
the next man gonna make.
Okay, so if the sport gets bigger, the check gets bigger.
They're gonna get bigger though. How the indoor gonna get bigger?
I'll say it again. No one's gonna watch indoors if the stars aren't there. Period. That's what I'm trying to say. These cats in the sport don't get it, yo. They think y'all are seeing what's right in front of you, dog. Y'all see your lane, and that's fine. Well, I'm trying to tell you, running indoors is a simple thing, dog. Super Speed said, "Is Lyles making more money than Fred?" Shit, I don't know. I think he might be.
That's cool.
I don't know.
I never watched the Next Man Pocket, but
I'm going up.
I know I got multiple viewers. Huh? I'm just saying. I know I got acres. I know I got homes to different. I don't care about the Next Man Pocket.
I know you do, but this is another issue.
I know I don't.
This is another issue. If a fan asks what athletes are making, it's weird to do it in track and field. If you're going to ask about some NBA contract, the shit is I can Google contracts right now. But it's some secret shit in sprint track, so it's another window of some storylines to cut off.
Really not no secret. All athletes talk.
No one talks about the money y'all make. Y'all don't want to talk about the money.
I'm telling you, at least talk. At least talk.
To each other?
We all talk.
To each other?
Of course.
What's that got to do with the fans?
It don't got nothing to do with the fans.
Okay, so that's the problem.
Well, why did fans worry about the Next Man Pocket though?
It's something to talk about. You guys are public figures.
Nothing to talk about.
Okay, so
we give me all the stuff.
Are you aware of the NBA trade deadline right now?
Okay, yeah, I see everything.
Yeah, obviously. So you're aware of contract negotiations and people are making to go to this team and that team or whatever. Mm-hmm. And this guy's making that money. That guy's.
Well, let me ask, how much you making?
More than you.
How much you making? Like, put it for your fans. Put it for your fans.
Okay, am I a professional track and field athlete right now?
That don't mean nothing. But do you see what I'm saying? Do you know how ignorant that sounds?
So if you're,
do you know how ignorant that sounds though?
If you're in the spotlight and you're an athlete, a professional athlete, right? And all the money y'all be begging for all the time, y'all got to give something. You
give it entertainment.
Entertainment
sports is
for a week.
Sports is entertainment.
For a week at World Championships.
Sports is entertainment.
For a week every 4 years.
Jay, my boy, Anson. Track and field is entertainment. Why are the next person worried about the Next Man Pocket, bro? It don't make sense.
I'll explain it to you. People are bored because you guys want to run 1 week and ask for more money.
People are bored because we're running, but we giving you a show, and we are the bigger stars. Like what?
Huh? For a week.
No, for years. Not no weeks. For years.
For 1 week per year.
No.
Yeah, dog. Look at man. I'm giving you some
Yeah, hey,
perspective,
yeah,
dog.
we definitely getting paid more than enough to be public. Yes, we
Okay,
is.
so then, what's the secret?
Yo, let me. Do you know? So in shoe contracts,
Mm.
right? This is not no league, right? Do you know how much the NBA players and NFL players and all them making their shoe contract? It's a shoe contract,
Right.
not no league contract.
Okay.
Why are you worried about what a person making their shoe
Okay. So in
contract?
professional
No, you should
sport,
not. You should not.
do you
You
want to
should
answer the question
not
or not? Do you want
answer
to
the
answer the
question.
question or not?
Answer the
Okay.
question,
Oh, I'm
Anson.
answering the question. Thanks. Give me a pause.
Mm-hmm.
You got to stop talking first.
Go,
Okay.
go, brother.
Now,
Go, brother.
professional athletes, the notoriety comes because we know what they're making. That makes them professional. So wow, I'm watching these cats because they're making whatever million
Mhm.
every year. Yeah. Now in
But just like
track,
I
let me
just said,
finish.
though, be quiet. No, I'm
Let me
gonna
finish.
finish
You
first. I'm gonna
asked the
finish
question. No,
first.
you asked the
I'm gonna
question.
finish
Let me
first.
finish.
Do
You
you
asked
know
the
how
question. Let me
much
finish.
people? Do you know how that much NFL players and because there's a lot of NFL, NBA, MLB. Do you know how much they making in their shoe contract? It's a shoe contract. It's not no league contract. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's two different things, and that's what people don't understand.
Okay.
No, you don't have to tell the person their shoe contract. The
Okay.
Dominies and all that stuff are leagues. You can know how much they making in the league, but a
So,
shoe
so
contract,
you
no.
think that it's good for a professional sport for it to be public that the winner gets $10,000?
No, I like that.
Yeah,
That don't
you got
make
giggles now.
that
You got giggles now. That's what you want public. That's what you want public.
like that's don't.
I remember I was watching the Sprint doc, and Gabby was talking about how she is around her competitors, and she was like, you know, I'm friends with them, but when it's time to get on the track, I can't really talk to them too much because we're all going to be running for that $10,000. I said, what the fuck?
I would.
Why,
I would.
why did you delete this shit out of the fucking doc? No one wants to hear this shit. $10,000 is what you guys want public. $10,000. We can't even talk about y'all appearance fees. We can't talk about no contracts. Look it, y'all get paid by shoe contracts. If that's a secret, cool.
That's the key word
But
you
that's
said.
but
Appearance
that
fee though.
but we can't talk about it. None of it we talk about. It's all taboo, dog. You know what we can talk about?
That's what you say, taboo.
We can talk about the Olympics. Let's talk about
Hmm?
the Olympics. Let's talk about the
No,
Olympics and who wins the
as
Olympics, where y'all get no money and
as
y'all
a
get
former
no money there.
athlete, Anson, you ain't never get paid in track and field in your lifetime.
Okay,
You was the
okay,
nobody in track and field,
okay.
brother.
But guess what? I'm someone now. I'm
Because
someone now. I'm
you do
someone.
this little
And guess what?
podcast, you still ain't
And guess
nobody.
what? And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? I
What's up,
I right now make more money than you.
Anson? I put that on my life. You don't.
You put it on your life.
I know
You put it on your life.
don't.
Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? I
I
can
can
say
sell
this.
I can sell an acre. I can
Fred.
sell an
Here's the
acre
catch.
in D.
Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. We'll never fucking know because y'all can't
Exactly.
say shit. So I can say
Hmm?
it. I can say it. I make more money
You
than you.
can,
Yeah, I make more money.
but we definitely don't pocket
I make
watch.
more money than you.
That's cool.
No. You brought out my pocket. So let's
Huh?
talk about
No,
you
no, no,
brought out
no,
my
no, no,
pocket.
no. You
So let's
brought
talk about
us
it.
our
You're
pockets. You
professional.
brought
You're
the
professional
athletes'
athletes, Fred.
pockets.
Fred, you're
Yeah.
professional athletes. Okay.
What that mean?
So act like it. Act like it.
Hmm?
Act like it.
Act like what, bro?
Professional athletes. Not this.
Yo,
We can't really talk about the money.
the
We
problem
can't really
is,
talk
Anson,
about the money
I'm
we
gonna tell
make.
you too.
We can't really talk about
The
the money we make. But
professional athlete in real
I got
life is
acres.
two different things, huh?
What?
Yo, stop talking stupid, bro.
That's not stupid or what? What
Stop
do you
talking
mean talking
stupid.
stupid?
You
You're
talking
professional athletes.
stupid.
You're professional athletes. You just said
Mhm.
professional athletes. So we can't
So
talk
you
about
should
it.
know,
But I got acres.
but you should know how much professional athlete make. Come on, bro. Like this is
I sh-
like, come
I
on,
should know.
Anson. You sound stupid.
The only reason I know is
Your ass sounds stupid.
because I'm in the circle. Now you want to know what sounds stupid? You want
What's
to know what
up?
sounds stupid?
What's up?
You saying that, oh, well, you're supposed to know, Anson. What the fuck I'm supposed to? I'm in the loop, so I will know. It's not about me. It's about the fans. You want to talk about your pocket? Who gives a fuck about your
I
pocket,
ain't never
dog?
talked about my pocket. You don't want to bring it up.
I brought what up?
The
I
pockets?
brought up the pockets.
Wait, what the fuck?
I said it's one more thing that you guys don't talk about. People are bored. You don't want to talk
Yeah,
about
we don't
shit.
have to talk about it.
You don't have to talk about it, but I'm saying watch the sport dwindle away. That's my point. You can do whatever the fuck you want, dog. And then come talk to me about acres. Dog, no one gives a fuck. It doesn't matter what I know. So what? I could be say something simple as, stars need to run indoors because people are getting bored and the sport's dying. Well, making my money. Who gives a fuck, dog?
Okay.
It's okay. What?
Listen, it's a time frame for everything.
All right, man. Time frame for everything, man. I don't know what the fuck that means. But I'll say this now.
But
Time frame right now,
Fred
as
don't
far
got
as
no
what's
anger
as far
problem.
as far as
Don't
what's happening,
disrespect me. I
as
ain't
far as
talking
we're
to
not talking about that.
you.
Don't worry about that. Don't. Why are you letting them comments get to you, dog? These people are gonna talk. Anyways,
Well, next
my point.
topic. Next
Let's talk
topic.
about something else, man.
Yeah, yeah.
We
Let's
we
next
we ain't gonna
topic.
agree on this shit.
Next.
Yo, watch this.
What's up?
You've been watching that you watching Netflix?
Yeah,
You've been watching this OJ shit?
I have not.
Oh shit, this shit is fucking crazy, dog.
What's going on right there?
Dog, it's about the whole OJ shit, but it's a bunch of shit I didn't know, dog. Yo, is Ato here?
Yeah.
Oh, he is. Yeah, it's a bunch of shit I didn't know, dog. But yeah, he did that shit. Yo, he used to commentate track and field.
No, I didn't know that.
He's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, look, we gotta chop it up another time.
Yeah. Blessings, brother.
Yeah, respect, yo. We talk, yo.
Yeah, bro.
All right. Ato's been waiting, yo. Let's get Ato up in here real quick, man. We had an appointment. Big up to one named Fred Kerley. For those of y'all that were wondering, that's just how me and Fred talk, man. It's just how we talk. That's why I love Fred on camera. He's a very real person. He's kind of funny too. Pick up the one named Ato Boldon. If I had my gunshots, I'd give you my gunshots right now. You came hooded up. That must be a Sprint culture thing. You're looking like my
No,
co-host right now.
I,
You're looking like my
I was,
co-host right now.
I was gonna log on with some other clothes, and I was like, "Well, Fred got on a hood, Anson got on a hood, and
The
they
Sprint culture
fighting." So
vibes.
I'm like, "Well, I'm ready too." Y'all know it's Black History Month, right?
Yeah.
Why I gotta log on to my live to watch two of my friends bickering about bullshit on during Black History Month?
This is how black people talk.
Okay,
It's all love. I'm
okay.
sure. We've had some exchanges.
Not publicly like
We've
that,
had some
but
exchanges. Come on, man.
I'm ready, man.
Look at. I think that we're in a sad state of affairs right now in track, and it's like, when you see someone with some food in their teeth, and they just, you want to tell them, but you don't want to, and when some of them, when you tell them, they're kind of mad that you told them.
Yeah.
It's like, Bridget, you got to. So it's like I'm trying to tell some of these track athletes the track and field has food in its teeth right now, and they're like, "No, it doesn't.
But
What are you
you know
talking about?
what happens
It's
though,
supposed to
and
be there."
you know what happens, and I'm happy about it. Things start to correct themselves eventually. Doesn't usually happen on the time that we want. And the best example that I'll give is this NIL stuff that's happening now in college, right? So I have some friends, and I had friends back in the day who were like, if you pay college athletes, you're gonna ruin the sport. And I was like, yeah, that's bullshit. Now, of course, the NIL has swung completely in the direction of the athletes, right? And they're like, "Oh, this is terrible. These athletes don't have no loyalty to these schools, and they go wherever." And I'm like, "Oh, so for the previous 80 years, when the athletic director was making the money, and the boosters had money, and the coach had money, and everybody else had money, and the athletes weren't getting shit, you were fine with that. But now the pendulum has swung a little bit too far in the direction where the athletes have a little bit too much power, and you're like, oh my God, the world's on fire." I'm like, good. It'll course correct eventually. So to your point, I agree that the path we're on now with track and field, this shit where you run all year and get $2 and people are running basically to make enough money to fly back home. I agree. I too have had enough, and I have been in this longer than you and Fred, and I remember what we used to make, and I see what they make now. I go to Eugene and I see the half empty Olympic trials, and I'm like, what are we really doing? So that's why the people who want to hate on Grand Slam track before it happens, or hate on athletes or whatever, I'm like, no, shut up, because at least they're trying to do something about it. So I'm watching the prize money for Grand Slam, and I'm looking at how much they got paid for athletes, and I'm like, good. That's not necessarily perfect, but at least it's a step in the right direction. Because the first thing we have to fix is that we need a living wage for people who do this sport, and we have not had that for a long time, and it's getting worse. It's
Getting worse.
getting worse.
Mm-hmm. Some people are making some money, but way more people aren't.
But it's almost like the world where you have the billionaires and the rich people
Right.
controlling. You have this many controlling all the money, and then
Right.
everybody else gets nothing.
Right. I remember in the NCAA, if you lined up in that final in the 100, you're guaranteed a
You were getting a contract.
contract. Right.
Now
That was back my era.
now
My
the
era,
winner.
your
I
era.
can
Now, hell no. But
now,
the
and I
winners,
can
the
tell you,
winners, the
yeah.
winners, or the top three, or people with put some times out there, they're getting real money, like real money. But some people who are very strong competitors, good, a lot of potential. If they didn't win or come top three, then they're not going to get anything significant shoe company wise.
Let me tell you how the shoe companies think now. They will sit in the stands at the NCAA's, and they will see somebody win the NCAA 100, and they go, we'll see you next year. The NCAA champion in no event is guaranteed a contract now.
Yeah, it's a lot different now, and that's a problem. I never big up the way that Matthew Hudson Smith. I never really thought about. I saw. Who Coach Rob is?
Which coach, Rob?
He makes content. He's a creator. He makes a lot of content
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube.
He has like a list.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. I got it.
yes. I watch his stuff. Yeah.
He's good, it's good content.
Yes,
So he made a video the other day about how the NCAA
I
is
saw it.
going it's going in a bad direction. I never really thought about that. When you broke it down, I was like, how am I not seeing this? I should have been seeing that it's kind of dwindling. But I always looked at them as a better model than professional track and field. So I just figured they're all right, but they're not. They're not. They're about to face some serious cuts unless something changes. But I mean,
The NCAA track and field is getting ready to go through some real, and that's why I'm really concerned for the future of the sport. And you can say, oh, everybody doesn't come from America, but let's look at the podium in the 100 from Paris. Julian Alfred, where'd she go to school?
Texas,
Shakari, where'd she go to
LSU,
school? Right, where'd Melissa go to school?
Central Florida.
No, but again,
Something
all
Florida.
all NCAA's, right?
Yeah.
And on the men, you have no one. Noah's not an NCAA guy, but he's from here in Kashane. My point is, this whole new scholarship thing with the NCAA's is getting ready to upset. It's getting ready to throw sort of a pebble into the pond that I don't think people are going to understand. Coastal Carolina, thank you. It's getting ready to throw a pebble into the pond that I don't think people are really understanding what's going to happen.
Bad or you talking about
Bad.
bad?
Because track coaches are going to have to make some really tough decisions. And it used to be, even though the men's sports may suffer because of Title IX, the women are going to be fine. Those days are over. It's going to be real tough for NCAA coaches as we get ready for these next Olympics.
That's not a good thing, man.
No, it's not. It's not. And if you love this sport as much as we do, you should be concerned about that because the next Olympics are in the United States, and we know there's going to be a ton of hype. But
it's important for LA to be a home run. If
it is
LA is not a home run, it's not going to be a home run anywhere else.
not just that. Look at what LA is following. I think Paris might have been the best games. I mean, I really enjoyed London. Paris was fun. Paris was
Really?
phenomenal.
Really?
Look at the performances. Look at look at the races.
There was some good performances, but I guess when you're on the ground, it would have had a different feel, right? When I was watching it, though,
So Paris didn't do it for you.
something was missing. Something was missing. There wasn't performances. There were some really good performances, but something was missing. I can't,
Both?
I won't be able to explain. No,
Like what do you
it
like?
wasn't
What do
that.
you want,
It
Allison
wasn't that.
Felix? Like
It
what
wasn't
do
that. It
you
wasn't
want?
that. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. You know what? I love seeing fans in the stands again, and it was obviously very organized, very well
And that's
done, and
the part you couldn't feel on television. If talk to people who were actually in those stands for that time is a different scenario.
okay,
Look, we all know London is
okay,
the gold standard, but Paris was a very good Olympics. So yes, Los Angeles. Look, it's Hollywood, and it's Hollywood
I know.
2025. So we expect that they're gonna bring it.
I hope so, man. I hope so, man. I wanted to say something. Miga, hashtag Miga,
Make indoors great again.
make it great again. Got to make indoors great again, Ato. Ato,
I can. Go ahead.
you did your fair share indoors, yeah?
No, not really. Not
Ato,
really. I probably if I ran 10 indoor races my whole career, I ran a lot. And it's probably not even that.
you touched 6'4" though.
Yeah,
You took
back
it
when that was fast.
you took it pretty seriously though.
No. I
Ato, okay,
absolutely did not take indoor
Ato,
seriously.
come on. I got to read an article for you.
I
Gotta read an
went to
article for you.
one indoor I went to one indoor worlds. I ran Milrose a couple times. I ran three or four. I ran like one indoor season, 97. But let me admit something. I sat in Boston last week and I thought about, me telling you, indoors, and I realized it's not that I don't like indoors. I love indoors when the stars are out.
Thank you.
My experience has been that for indoors, the stars don't really show up.
You you mean when you were competing? Or you mean after you were competing?
No, no, no. Since then,
Since then.
since then, no.
Because
When
when
I
you
was
were competing, stars definitely
remember
showed
when
up.
I was competing, it was. I mean, Maurice was running every.
Yes.
No, no, no. It's not. It's not even. It's not even a question of from me or my generation. Being in Boston and being able to watch 7, 8, 9 Olympic champions compete, I thought to myself, it's not that you don't really care for indoors, it's that you usually feel like indoors has substandard competition. Because I
Thank you.
guarantee you, with the upcoming World Indoors, if it was Noah versus Christian versus Trayvon versus
Keyshane.
you
Like, come on, man.
versus Marcel looking like himself, people would
Thank you.
watch.
This one I'm arguing
People
with Craig
would
about.
watch it. I would be very interested, and I wouldn't care who was interested. So I think my disdain for indoors is in part because I feel like a lot of the stars started to ignore indoors.
I don't know when you came in, but I mentioned my theory on why that
Okay,
happened is because I mean Bolt kind of took over the scene when he came in and didn't do indoors.
both never ran
Never indoors.
indoors.
A lot
Tyson,
of the Jamaicans
but think
during
of
that
the
wave.
recently ritired stars.
Uh-huh.
How many of them ran indoors? Did Allison run a lot of indoors?
No.
Did Sonya, did Bolt, did Blake, it just it for a generation, they just indoors just was not that important. And I think it's the economics of it too, because if you guys just had a whole discussion about how, something we welcome all this change with the money for outdoors.
Mhm.
Imagine how bad it was indoors.
Right. Right.
So
So
I think it was the economics. It was like, what am I gonna go run for $2 out here for? No, I'd rather go train and train for
so you'd
outdoors.
be a good person to ask this. Do you think the money went down before the stars started going, or do you think the money went down because the stars stopped going?
A little bit of both. Indoors has never had great money. Well, I shouldn't say never. Indoors has not had great money for a while because the truth is, a lot of them indoor meets dried up. The
Before.
same way in my generation, we had a B circuit and a C circuit. So if you weren't going to, the big ones, Lausanne and Monaco and so on, there were other small meets. Those meets have all but dried up. And indoors was kind of the same thing, where it's like, yeah, you have your established meets, but then there was no kind of other circuit.
Right.
So indoors. I think was a victim of, yes, a lot of the stars kind of shunned it, but it was also the economics of it.
So it's a little of both. There wouldn't be one more to the other because I've been out of a bunch of discussions about this. Aaron, you'll see Aaron Brown in the comments. We've been going back and forth about this for
It's
it feels
hard to
it feels
sell.
like
It's hard
decades.
to sell tickets when you don't have stars.
That's my point. So that's my point. It's the chicken before the egg type thing, right? My thing is if the athletes are at least showing up and there is no money, then they have a leg to stand on and be like, well, look, we're doing our part. Well, what the fuck are y'all doing? We're giving y'all this. Y'all can't promote a local meet. We got some of the big names here and get some money for this. Because I think that if some big names were there, they could find the money. Personally, I remember last year, U.S. indoors. Was it last year? I can't remember.
Yeah,
But it was
Coleman versus Noah.
Oh, so no, the year before. So the year before that,
Okay,
um, it was broadcasted very well, and no one was there. It's like you got these millions of dollars going into putting this out internationally, and then no one's there. So then people are watching this. The people who are putting the money into it are watching it like, well, what kind of investment is this?
but
You
from
can't.
the other side, what incentive? Here's where I think you and I disagree, because I've seen you have some like wild questions about, well, which one is better, an indoor 60 or an outdoor
Okay,
200? And I'm like,
we could talk about that in a second, but go on.
the bottom line is, stop trying to bring indoors up somehow to the level of like
It would never
outdoor meets.
happen. It would
It's
never
it's just
happen.
not it's
It would
not
never happen.
realistic.
So let me make that clear. This is the thing, and you're a journalist, so you understand. A lot of times in content, it's not about finding an answer. It's about the deliberation.
I agree. I
So
agree. I
it's about
agree.
dialogue. So
And we know you're
I'm
the king of that. Let me just throw some wild shit out there and
it's
see what
it's
people say.
there's some truth to it though because I do feel like there's value. There's some serious value that's untapped in indoors now, and I do feel like being the 60-meter champion is prestigious. Now,
To who? To a shoe
well,
company? No.
you can make anything a thing. I've watched. Have you ever watched darts? I always bring this example up. Do you ever watch darts? It's amazing.
Occasionally I do, yeah.
YouTube it.
Occasionally I'll be flipping and it's on.
YouTube it. It's amazing.
Really,
You
you think
you'll be
darts is
you'll be interested.
amazing?
It's
You
it's
you would it would
I'll never
rise to
turn
the
the
level of
channel.
amazing.
I'll never turn the channel. I'll watch it till the end. The environment, the enthusiasm, I learn as I'm watching it. It's a thing. They made it a thing. You make something a thing. It's a thing. So as far as indoors is concerned, okay, look, it's a long shot to say it's ever going to compare it to outdoors, but there's a lot of key characteristics in indoor races that are impressive. If we're just going to isolate the 60, the early part of the race is impressive to me. How people get out of the blocks, how quick they overcome inertia, how quick they get to top speed. You never really know what's going to happen in a 60-meter race. I would argue that the 200 is kind of it's become kind of there's three preferred lanes. You kind of
But they
know
don't
who's
even
going
run
to
the
win.
200 anymore. They don't run the 200 anymore indoors officially.
No, I'm talking about outdoors. But the
Oh,
200
okay,
was
outdoors.
200
Okay.
was yeah. So 200 outdoors, three lanes are obviously clearly preferred. You usually know who's going to win. It's it doesn't have the same type of anticipation because it's more so the back end or the aftershock of the 100 really. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the back. It's like doing stand up after Chappelle or something. That's how the 200 usually comes across. You know what
Why
I'm
you
saying?
hate the 200, man?
No, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I just don't think that it has
I notice
the
a
luster.
lot of your comparisons. You always like you pick on that 200.
No, no, no,
Like,
no, 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 no.
I'd rather be the
It's
60
because
meter champion than the
it's because
200-meter champion
no,
outdoors.
but I think winning the 60 is a big deal, man. I think it's a big deal. I just
I'm
look,
okay.
and
I
another
would
thing with
I
the
would
200, another
I
thing with
would
the 200,
concede.
one
Hmm?
round a day for the 200, it's boring, dog. Like at least with the 60, you'll get a few rounds a day. You can build up some anticipation throughout a day. Like the 200 is one race here. Okay, they'll race tomorrow. Okay, day off. Okay, they race again. Like, come on, dog. There's a lot of things
That's
that
just
are really working
listen.
in favor of the
That's
two.
this generation in Atlanta. I ran 2 rounds both
I
days. I
remember
remember
that. I remember
yeah,
that.
semifinal and final same
I
day. I was
remember
like,
that.
oh wow, who is this setup? Who is this setup for? Where the sprinters have to come back and run against the quarter miler couple hours after the semifinals of the deuce.
Right. So I think the 200 has the luxury of being a part of the Olympics. But as far as the actual event, I'm actually more entertained watching a 60. That's the honest to God truth, man. It's the truth. It's a much more exciting, dynamic race. If you have a bunch of stars in a 60, dog, come
Personal
on,
preference.
man.
I understand. I get it. I understand. But that's a personal preference. I agree. I understand your perspective. I don't agree with it, but I also have a bias. The 200 was my event, so
You consider yourself more of a 200 guy?
of course, I was a 200 guy who could run the 100, and I came from the 4. A lot of people don't know that.
Come on, man. You ran the 4.
That's right.
What's your
Look it
running
up.
for? What's your best 4?
Queens County champion, 1990. You can look it up.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
I
I'm
was
sorry,
4-2,
man.
and then I got smart, and I went, oh wait, what? This is where all the attention and the money and all of that is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. That's my friends running the 100.
I think
Making all that paper,
because
Fred.
your
Making all
200
that
sucks.
paper.
I think because your 200 I think because your 200 was awful. You don't like the deuce.
You want to know the truth about 200? I'll tell you my 200 story. The 200 came very easy to me, right?
What was your
Um,
PR?
it's only 2052, but let me explain. Um, my freshman year in college, right? My first real hamstring pull was in the 200
Ah,
on the
there
turn
it is.
I swear I was running around the corner and someone with a shotgun just went bow,
That's how it
and that's
goes.
when I did the hammy dance. You know what I'm saying? And that was changed my life. So that even that 2052,
You have PTSD.
that was jogging the turn. I
You have
jogged the turn
PTSD.
for the rest of my career. I jogged it.
You have PTSD. It's okay.
Really, I should have been
We
a way
listen
better
and we
200
do
meter
not
runner.
judge.
I should have
We
been way
listen
better.
and we do not judge.
You sound like you're judging right now, man. That's disrespect. But yeah, the 200. It's not that. I love the 200. Like it's a cool race. It just seems kind of like a tweener race, though. It's a tweener. It's not the 100. It's not the 400. It's like a tweener.
Can we move on?
It's not a tweener. I'm not trying to disrespect your event, dog. But you know what I'm
Listen,
saying?
I
You're a
have
100
no
guy. You're a
I
100
have no
guy.
delusions about what the deuce is. The deuce is never going to be 100. It'll never be the quarter. It'll never be the mile. But this thing of like the 60 indoors,
I think it's untapped,
really?
man. I think it's untapped. I think it's untapped. I think it's untapped. Do you think Bolt running 1919 was very impressive? But do you think him running 6'2" would have been impressive?
Bull could not run 6'2".
No, I was just saying. I'm
Oh, okay.
comparing it to like a 1919. You wouldn't have ran 6'2" now. Aaron thinks this guy could have ran 5 seconds.
That would have been impressive to see. I mean, no question. But why do we need Bolt for that to be impressive? Like I would have been impressed if Christian ran it, or if Ronnie Baker ran it, or if Maurice Green ran it. Impressive is impressive.
I just think the anticipation before a 60 and the. Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah, but it's also over in 6 seconds.
Okay, so the deuce is over in the deuce is over in what 3 times that
I'm
roughly,
sorry.
and then you see one a
I'm in
day.
television. I need something to hold the audience a little longer than
You'll
six
get
seconds.
another round. You get another round to talk about in that day. Maybe 2 rounds. 3 rounds in a day, actually.
All right, man. What else you want to talk about?
I want to talk about this OJ doc
It's
series on Netflix.
fantastic. I watched it. I heard you. Wait.
Fred
Let me
ain't
just
seen it.
interject there. I have OJ Simpson's old job.
That's what I was saying to Fred. He used to do commentary for track and field, and
He
he
was
was good.
NBC. I have OJ Simpson's old job. So I ain't a killer, but don't push me. I was completely fascinated by the OJ documentary. I was in LA for that verdict. You have to be in LA. You have to live in LA to have gone through that to even like. So I'm watching the series going, what are they going to tell me that I don't already know? And I don't want to blow it for the audience that hasn't seen it, but that last episode and the revelations, and I was like, because in my own camp was a whole bunch of people talking about yeah, OJ didn't do it, but he knew who did it. And I was like, I'm sorry, my intelligence and my powers of deduction will not allow me to be an idiot. So as my attorney says, that's OJ luck. The same night my wife and her man, and let's be honest and stop calling this man a waiter from the thing. Don't know waiter at no restaurant I've been to. Female or male ain't gonna bring no damn glasses for me. So
Come
that's the whole
on,
thing.
forgot her mom's glasses. Come on, it
Bottom line is
was a nice thing to do.
OJ luck means the same night I cut my finger and leave town and bleed all over my damn car and my house and all that is the same night that my ex-wife, who I used to beat within an inch of her life, gets killed along with the guy who brought the thing back. So it's like I am glad that because I literally watched it with somebody who sat down to watch it and said, "Oh yeah, OJ didn't do it," and I was like,
No, if you
"Is it?"
watch,
I mean, I
if you
understand that.
watch it,
I know that maybe if you're black, you can't like process. Up here, here we go. Here we go in the comments. The son
that's
did
true.
it. Oh
That's
boy.
look at. If you watch this, it's very hard to argue that he didn't do it, right? Do you know what the only question
If
I
you
have?
watch this and you have always had some sense of critical thinking and you could analyze fluff from actual fact in the first case, you go, thank you. This is what I've always believed. If you thought maybe because you discolored and somehow you like I don't know, OJ ain't doing nothing as far as I'm concerned. If that's your, then this will be you'll be like, by the end of it, you're like, oh my gosh, I like you either forgot or didn't know or didn't pay attention. Maybe you were young, but it has earned its number one ranking on Netflix, and I encourage
Yeah,
those who are so inclined. It's really entertaining. Yeah.
yeah, it's legit, man. It's
So
legit.
yeah, I have OJ's The Old Job.
Did you ever meet him?
No.
Did you ever see any of his commentary? It was
Yes.
very good.
Really?
I mean, come on. I mean, considering the time and considering he was. I mean, he ran some track as a college athlete, but he wasn't like a track guy. I mean,
That's the
I think.
barometer.
Well, another thing is a lot of times when someone has some sort of celebrity status, it adds to it. I'm just talking about the package. I'm not talking about his analysis. He's not going to break down some like races and technique and shit like
So
you,
I
dog. I'm
should
just saying, like,
I should judge his commentary by how famous he was.
Regin, look at if Ice Cube just decides to do some track and field commentary, it's gonna be tight, no matter what.
Really?
People, if Ice Cube comes on TV, start talking about dry phase and shit like that, or name a star, name a star. Dave Chappelle came on talking about dry phases and talking about, what I'm saying, reaction to the gun and Regin, he's not gonna have to sound that smart. He's not gonna have to sound that
This is
smart.
where our age gap shows up, because you could literally bring Joe Blow off the street, like one of the fans. You could bring one of the fans from in your live here, and I would be more impressed with that. That now I get the celebrity factor and Snoop or whatever somebody's saying in the comments. They have their place. You want Snoop calling an Olympic final?
I mean, he could be a color
Yeah.
commentator.
You say that until it's your race, and you for the rest of
No,
your
he
life
couldn't
have
even
to
go by
have a
himself.
novice, until you for the rest of your life have to have your race called by somebody who has no clue what the fuck
Okay,
they're
he
talking
has
about.
to be accompanied by some real analysts. But I'm just saying, a color.
Okay,
So
back to
three color
OJ. Let
commentators
me
a
tell
room.
you my analysis of and listen, I live on YouTube. So I watch everything. I feel like I have watched, certainly during the pandemic, I have seen every broadcast in every language I can understand of every race. Let
Uh-huh.
me tell you my critique of OJ's commentary. OJ was the kind of guy, and this actually happened. OJ was the kind of broadcaster who, when he was in the booth, and he was in there with Tom Hammond, who I worked with for the beginning part of my career too.
Hmm.
He would say, okay, so in this race we got athlete X, we got Y, we got Z, we got A, we got B, we got C, we got Bolt, we got Johan Blake, and we have Tyson Gay. OJ, who you like here? And he'd be like, man, I know Bolt and them are the favorites, but I'm gonna go with my man athlete X. I'm like, that's not analysis. That's you shouting out who you know in the damn race. That's not how you're supposed to broadcast.
What if he did a few weeks of research and saw some patterns within their competition schedule, and he's like,
You are
he picked up on some things.
you are the Olympic announcer. You are supposed to be as good in your job as the
No,
athletes
I
are at
agree. I
theirs.
agree.
You see
I
what I'm
agree.
saying?
I
So
agree.
so this
I
so
agree.
so
I'm
this
just
whole
saying.
so what you're saying of, oh, OJ wasn't really a pro track athlete and he brought some celebrity to it. I concede that. Great, but I'm sorry, man. It's
Not in
I don't want to
Olympics.
sound I
Not
don't
in
want to sound like
Olympics.
my man from American Idol, but it's a no from me, dog.
Not in
I did
Olympics.
not. I OJ football, sure. I did not like OJ's broadcasting at all. And you can go back right now and watch any of it, and you tell me compare that compare that to modern day, and you tell me that OJ was a good track and field broadcaster.
I'm gonna post some clips
Do it,
on the Track Field Network,
do it,
and I want the
do it,
people to be the judge.
do it.
He was all right. You know
And I
what?
don't
Maybe it's because I didn't expect much. Maybe it's because I
and
didn't
listen,
expect much.
I thought OJ was a phenomenal athlete. I have huge respect. Phenomenal runner. He still has the world record with Lennox Miller and company, but that USC team, that the four
Four by
by
one
the 4x110, the
hundred,
440 relay.
440.
He was
Yeah.
a hell like you. If you turn on OJ Simpson clips now, you go, oh shit! Like his speed on the field was like,
Right.
but track and field broadcaster.
But this is
I
the
went in there
thing.
thinking, I never really looked at like OJ stuff, and I was like, other people may like it, but it's not my cup of tea. It's a little too surface. I like some details. I like depth. I like
Yeah,
some
but we're track and field
historical
people.
perspective. If you just there to be like, eh,
No, but
I'm a celebrity, so what?
no, but Adult. See, you know what? Sometimes I lose touch with the track and field community a little bit because I don't know if I've removed myself mentally from it
Okay,
in a big way. Because I understand that the general public would love to just see a celebrity in there. Now, they may not get the most amazing track and field analysis, but
Snoop
that's what I'm saying. You can
Snoop did
have a.
phenomenally this for us last summer. Snoop was a huge hit.
He was a hit. He not track and field analysis wise though.
I'm not
That's
saying he did
that's
track and field analysis.
so.
I'm saying
Oh, you're saying to my point. Yeah. So strictly from a star standpoint, just having him there, it was cool, man. Like it's a thing. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, some other people that may not be interested in track and field and wouldn't understand or get caught up in the dialect might just want to see Snoop saying, "Damn, that was fast." Some shit like that. They might. I don't know. I just like more eyes on the sport, yo,
you think
and
that's
I think that they'll do it.
okay. So if we poll the majority of uh of people tuning in, not even track and field fans, because I know track and field fans gonna say, no, I don't want like people dumbing down the sport.
Right?
You think if we polled the majority of people in America that they would want like almost like a Leslie Jones? You think Americans want more of that?
I think we need to see more of Leslie Jones.
Okay.
And,
Well, right now she's currently supporting the UCLA women's basketball team that have just won 22 in a row. So big up to the UCLA women.
yo, did she try to get involved in track and field and get shut
Who's
down?
that?
Leslie Jones.
When you say try to get involved,
Was she trying to be a part of a broadcast or a part of the presentation in some sort of way, and it ended up being turned away?
where you hear that story?
Look, man, I hear shit.
Where you hear that story? You ain't supposed to know that story.
I don't listen, man.
No, we love
I'm in the
Leslie.
mix.
No, I love Leslie. Let me tell you what really happened. Um, Leslie is a super fan, so she was at home, kind of like yes,
Right.
go USA, and NBC decided to bring her over,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this was in Rio. I remember because everybody was scared of Zika.
Right.
And so what Leslie was doing is she was kind of going from like venue to venue, and it was really going across well.
Right.
And I think somewhere in there, somebody told Leslie, or Leslie thought that she was going to be like either on the air or air adjacent, and Bolt was running his last Olympic final.
Right.
And it got shut down like, oh, no, 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 no. We are not going to have Bolt versus like Bolt's last Olympic 100-meter race
Right.
with no, no, no. So again, the celebrities have their place. I wasn't sure about the Snoop thing, and it was a home run. I wasn't sure about the Terry Crews thing, and it was a home run. tested off the charts. People loved them. I thought Snoop brought great value to our NBC coverage.
Hmm.
But I still don't think that that's what people want in its purest form when it's time to get serious for me,
Okay,
for a
agreed.
race, for a big race.
Right, agreed. Big races, no,
Yeah,
no, I agree. Yeah. Right.
yeah.
Um.
Looking forward to
Yeah.
Milrose.
Let's talk about Melrose. I was trying to look up some lane assignments, man. I can't find no lane assignments nowhere.
It's literally
I only
on
saw the
the
hurdles.
Or, look at me like an idiot looking for my phone. It's literally on their on their like, where is my hey, this is what you have to look forward to in your 50s, Anson.
Don't do that to me,
This is
man.
what you have to look forward to in your 50s when you start going, man, where is my phone? Yeah, I'm looking at it.
I might have started.
Um, I will say this about Milrose. I think the distance races are probably a little better because there's no Noah, there's no Julian in Milrose. They're good fields, but Boston was really really impressive. The 60 hurdles for women have all of, I think damn near the whole field from Boston because I saw Clemens, Masai, Devin Charlton, Akira Nugent, and Grace Stark. So the hurdles are going to be good, but they're always good.
Yeah.
No Grant Hollow. No, is Grant in this
No, he's
week?
not. He's not.
No,
He's not.
Grant's
He's
not.
not.
No, Grant's not running. So you lose Grant, you lose Julian, you lose Noah. Um, and a couple others. So I looked at the fields. It's not bad fields, but look, Milrose, I concede. The Wanamaker Mile is going to be phenomenal. A lot of those distance races. So look, us sprint fans, we got a treat last week. It's it's not quite the caliber of Boston, but still going to be a great meet. And of course, yes, as somebody mentioned, Quincy in the 600 against some 800-meter guys stepping down. So that should be interesting.
Yo, who's the kid that beat Quincy?
Another high schooler. Listen, I watched that race and I was like, this is what it's like when you have all the hype. Because people at home sitting down like, man, I could beat this fool. So yeah, he got caught. He got caught. They had a little. The guy kind of cut in or whatever, but the guy beat him. Period.
I
The
don't know
thing
his
is that
name. I just
people
know he's
feel like because Quincy ran 44-2 last year and he went to the Olympics, that somehow he's got some kind of force field where he can't lose. And it was like, this is good because the guy who I forget the guy's name. I saw the race. It was a good race, and the guy is a good talent. Here it is, Andrew Salvadon. Thank you.
Andrew
Yeah, so
Salvador.
he can say I beat Quincy, but you heard Quincy. The first thing he said to Lewis is, something happened 2 weeks ago that
Yeah.
motivated the mess out of me. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I
Yeah.
like him
Yeah.
even more now because he understands it ain't gonna be. Oh, somebody's giving his whole background now. Bayside High School in Virginia Beach. Those Virginians punch over their weight. LaShawn
Mm.
Merritt, Allen Iverson, Noah Grant. I don't know.
They're
Somebody
from
I was talking
Virginia
to from
too.
Virginia. I was like,
Noah and
for a
Grant.
small ass little place. Virginia as a state, their athletes, Michael Vick, it's like you look at who came out of Virginia and you're like, what the heck are they breeding in Virginia? Anyway,
Mm.
so no, Quincy losing is a good thing, and he's going to be tested this weekend, but I think it's going to be a really good race. He's in the 600.
600. Do you find that you've become more of a distance fan with broadcasting?
Um,
Because I noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they bring in another analyst to kind of talk through the distance races while you're on, and you kind of specialize more in everything else.
I don't,
Um,
I don't, I was never hired to do distances, and I, quite frankly, I would have, what am I gonna tell an audience about a 1,500 or a 3,000? No, we have Carragouch or we have somebody else for that. What I did not think I would like, and I do, is calling the eight. So at some point about 4 or 5 years ago, NBC had this kind of like gap where it was like, well, the 800 is not a sprint, and they said, would you come and would you fill in the 800s? And I thought, ooh, 800s, mind you, another event that I used to run. And I thought, sure. And I've tried to get better and better and better at the 800s because I know that's the one that I don't know. I don't know that like the back of my hand, like the 4 and the 2 and the 100 and the 60.
Right.
So no, I enjoy calling the 800 immensely. And here's what happened. Oh, I know when it was. It was 2019. They asked me. So they asked me in like 2019, and then Donovan Brazier shows up and wins Worlds. And since then, both the men and then of course a thing Mo shows up. So I've considered myself very lucky because I've gotten to cover. Look at what the 800 men looks like now. Where 141 doesn't get you a medal in the
We got the one
games. What?
named Marco Arop.
141 was good enough for fourth in Paris.
No.
So I enjoy covering the 8 because I get to cover a thing Mo and Ricky and the British Olympic champion in the
Oh,
women's 8.
you're talking about Keely Hodgkinson.
Keely Hodgkinson,
Yeah.
right? So I get to cover them, and now all of a sudden the men's 8 is like the hottest event. So yeah, I enjoy it, but I am never going to go any higher than that because I feel like no. When I watch a meet, I want to hear somebody talking to me that knows more than me. That's
Right.
my thing. That's why I love listening to Kara. I love listening to Tim Hutchings and Cram. Because when those guys are talking about like splits and stuff, I'm like, okay, I get it. If he stays on, if he runs, if he locks in at 56 now or 52 or whatever, then we got a shot at the record. I don't want somebody just like that doesn't understand what they're talking about. So I would never, if asked, I am never going higher than the 800. It's just
Big up the one named Marco Arop, by the way.
yes.
Another one of our
And you're Canadian. Pronounce his name properly, please. It's a rope.
a rope.
It's a rope.
He's never corrected me, not once.
It is a rope. We have a whole seminar that we go to. The reason why on NBC we get everybody's name right is because we have a whole damn class on everybody's name.
Even Letsile never corrected me with Taboho.
How you make the G in Tobago? He's African, not Hispanic.
What?
Letsile Tobago.
No, it's Taboho. I've been informed that it's Taboho.
We literally have a department that goes and they make the athletes say their names into a damn recorder. So that when we hear it, we are copying what the athlete has said.
Okay.
Devin Charlton, we used to get that wrong. We used to say Divine. It's Devin. I heard her parents told me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take a note on Taboho, just to make sure, because I've been informed by a few people.
Listen, our research, I will bring it up, and the man's the Olympic champion. If we are wrong, we will correct it.
Yeah.
But I remember the days of Blessing Okabare Igotiguanoa. I had to learn that one.
That's why, names are getting butchered all the time, That's why you see people getting upset about being called Tara instead of Tara or Shikari instead of Shikari. Names get butchered in the sport all the time.
You interview Shikari and say it wrong and see what she says. I have seen her ream people.
I've seen it. That's what I'm saying. I've seen it repeatedly. But names in track and field are getting butchered. Them foreign countries, them Chinese countries, them African countries, those names are getting annihilated all the time.
Wait, a multiple Olympic champion is asking me a question. The way to pronounce my name where I'm from is Ato Boldon. But the minute I landed here and the immigration guy was like, "Okay, welcome to America, Otto," I realized I am literally fighting a losing battle. If you think you're gonna get an American to take the hard T out, it's like that's how they. Lee Diffie sits next to me. He pronounces my name like an Australian. Ato. So I'm like, I don't care what you call me, just call me. So to answer your question, Angelo Taylor, my name is Ato Boldon.
Yeah, names get butchered all the time, man.
I've also been living here for 40 years.
Dang, 40 years, huh?
No, not quite. 37 this year.
Okay. By the way, your mini doc is due to come out next month.
Which mini doc is this?
When I came to your house and did that interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a mini doc?
Yeah, it's gonna be a mini doc. There's 3 of them. So the first one's gonna be.
Did I sign off on this? Wait a minute. Did I sign the release? I need to see it.
We got the content now.
I need to see.
No, it'll be well done. Don't worry about it. So there's Ryan Krauser first, then Michael Johnson, and then
Hey,
you.
gold gotta go before silver. I get it.
Yo, I'm looking forward to Grand Slam track. Just because it's something different, man. I mean, it's just we've been doing the same thing every year, man. I don't really know what to expect, but I know a lot of stars are going to be there.
Look at this picture. This is when track and field was track and field. Look at this.
Who? Oh, yeah, you and Michael, huh?
See the stands? See how them stands is full?
Where is that? Texas Relay?
That's standing room only, homie.
That,
Y'all ain't used to seeing this no
is
more.
that Texas Relays?
Texas Relays? That's Stockholm.
Oh, making sure.
You said, oh my God, you said Texas Relays. Really?
Yo, Aaron Brown just asked who's broadcasting Grand Slam. You haven't heard the announcement, dude? NBC got that, man. That came
No,
out yesterday.
not necessarily.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hold
That
on,
was a big
hold
announcement
on.
yesterday. That was a big
You want the
announcement
scoop or you
yesterday.
don't want the scoop?
Yeah, I
You
need
want
the
the scoop
scoop
or you don't want the scoop?
because,
Grand
yeah.
Slam track is going to air on the CW and on Peacock. Those are both NBC properties, of course, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's not. They don't necessarily have to come get everybody from NBC. They're gonna pick who they want. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
So should you expect to see an NBC announcer or two? Sure, but it's not like they're locked in. In other words, they're delivering a product to NBC that's independent of. You see what I'm saying?
It's
So they
independent
can
of
they can pick
NBC.
XYZ and say NBC, here, air this
Right.
to a certain extent. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not really broadcasted by NBC, but by one of the subsidiaries.
No, it's
It's
considered NBC, but it's
considered
the first
NBC.
year. NBC is not. I mean, I am not in those meetings, but NBC is not going to put something first year on like flagship prime time. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
Okay. Okay. Okay.
it's like
Okay.
let's
Okay.
see,
Okay. Okay.
let's see. Yeah,
Shit, Alexis Ohanian got that beat on ESPN right away, though, huh? God damn.
what's that?
Athlos got on ESPN right away. I, I don't know if
But
you've seen any of my content, but I wasn't too pleased about Athlos
dude,
in a few
why you
ways.
didn't like Athlos? Because I actually enjoyed it a lot.
No, Athlos the no, the event was amazing. It was done very well.
But what you didn't like? Wait, weren't you there?
No,
You
I wasn't there.
didn't go. Okay.
No.
Why did you like? Why you didn't like Athlos?
I just I was having a bit of issue with what it was the concept was built on, and I was I'm a traditional track field athlete, believe it or not, and
A traditionalist who likes the 60 over
yeah,
outdoor events. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I believe it or not. But I think that there's a line, you know what I'm saying? There's certain areas you can kind of say you like around
I didn't
as
love
far as separating the men and the
everything
women.
about it, but I sat at home, like, okay, popcorn, drink, watch it. I was thoroughly entertained. A part of me was like, damn, I want to broadcast this meet, but I also understood it's like, no, it's a women's meet. Sit your ass down, man, and let the women do their thing.
Yo, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
It's the there was one interview. I don't want to say who did the interview, but there was an interview that was done, and one of the responses, I mean, well, the question was something like, how do you feel about this event being put on for the women and what it means? And the person was like, putting us in a box has to stop. It has to stop.
Like I said, I didn't love everything
And
about it.
I'm
I think,
like, look, this isn't track and field. It's never been like that in track and field. Like, why are we putting this on these women? These women been shining around here, man. So it's like this tone of being inhibited and hard done by and held back because it's been put on the women in track and field. And it's like that's my issue with it. I just didn't think that. I thought that was weird, man. I thought it was weird
like I
for it
said,
to
I didn't
be
love everything about it, but I thought, look, for a first effort, I thought it was a home run.
the meet was great. Yo, I bet you, I can't remember the last time non-Olympics I saw track and field presented like that. It was very very well done.
Yeah,
But
as a fan, as just pure track and field fan, I didn't have no notes. I didn't have no, just sitting home watching. I went, I really enjoyed this.
it was good. It was presented very
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
You know,
And listen, I don't think the general public understands how hard anybody can put on a meet, but it is so hard to put on a great meet.
yep.
So imagine how hard it is to put on a great meet your first time ever. So I graded Athlos on a curve for the couple things that maybe I thought were, you know, were not fantastic, and I expect that because they are consummate professionals that it's going to improve this year.
It'll get better, and they probably have more than one. But real talk, if you had a budget, do you think it would be that hard to put on a good meet?
No, but I've been planning to put on a fantastic meet for like 20 years. I just ain't. I just the wheel the shit ain't just aligned. It really hasn't aligned yet. And my relationship with Trinidad and Tobago is so awful that I can't even say, okay, let's go do something fabulous in the South Caribbean, because my relationship with with track and field in my home country is the worst it's ever been.
Still?
Oh yeah, worse now.
Is that where you would have wanted to have the meet?
I'd have thought about it. Yeah, either there or here at Anson,
Big up.
which is a huh?
Mm, Anson, this sounds amazing.
Oh no,
I'm just
ANSIN.
saying
No,
it
the rich
sounds
Anson,
great. It sounds
the
great.
rich Ansons, the ones who own the ones who own half of
That way.
South
That way.
Florida.
That way.
You might be richer than Frank Curley allegedly. I don't know where that came from,
Hey, we will never know. We'll never know.
but
We'll
you
never
ain't
know.
got Anson money. That's old, what they call old money in my
Okay.
generation.
Yeah. That's a
Somebody asked, why is it awful? You don't have enough show for me to talk about why is it awful, but I'll give you the Cliff's Notes version.
sure.
I coached the Trinidad and Tobago 4x1 men to silver in 2001 in your home country,
All
Edmonton.
right.
I then
Oh, you were
returned
a
to
sprinter
coach.
coach. You were a sprinter coach. You were second leg as well, no?
I was second leg and the coach, correct.
Right. Yeah.
In 2015, I coached the women to the only medal they've ever won, bronze in Beijing at the World Championships. Not a lot of people know that. It's not something that I talk about too
2015.
much. 2015 in Beijing, China, the Trinidad and Tobago women won their first and only medal in the 4x1. It was a bronze. I was the
Wow.
coach.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I have always had this look, I will help where I can mentality. I don't want to be the head of the federation. I don't want to run things, right? Instead of taking my advice and nurturing and supporting the relays, they saw it as, we don't want to follow any plan that me he suggests, because he's want to run. Not only that, it's going to make us expendable. So I spent most of the last 10 years saying the path that we are on is going to lead to a huge drought. And they all said, shut up, Otto, this ain't NBC. And I went, okay, now you look. No medals since Rio, and that was a bronze in the javelin the last day. No medals in the Olympics now for 2 consecutive Olympics. The last medal we won at Worlds, 2017, when they won
What was the
the 4x4.
right?
Yeah. How
Mm-hmm.
many years is that now? Worse, and then worse than that,
Wow.
horrific results. We're getting our ass kicked by islands that we couldn't even dream of getting close to us before. So now it's like, okay, so we have Jareem, who's doing well. Kishore Walcott has given great service, but he's older now. And I'm like, there's nobody coming up the pipeline. We're hoping that the twins that just went to Georgia are going to give us something. There are others who maybe, but for the most part, I feel like the guy who was on the bow on the bow of the Titanic saying, should not like, hey, Ato, we need your help. I'm like, no, because I don't know how to get a ship off the bottom of the damn North Atlantic. I was trying to help before. Worse, they have now put back into power the guy who is the head of the federation, who ruined it in the first place. So I'm like, you know what? Y'all go ahead. I don't see any medals for Trinidad and Tobago coming anytime soon, because all the established veterans are only getting older. So That's the Cliff's Notes version. Let's move on.
It's too bad, man. They could really utilize you, man.
And wait, here's what's worse. I have gotten to see all of my peers get to continually influence their country's fortunes in track and field.
Right.
I've watched Glenroy Gilbert,
Glenroy.
right?
Yeah.
Who is Trini Canadian, who had a I've watched Bruni, I've watched all these others, and literally just because of the petty bullshit that Trinis are on most of the time, they have literally almost to spite me. I'm like, y'all ain't spiting me. I live real nice. I live real nice. Travel all around the world first class and get to see all the greatest meets ever. Meanwhile, y'all are stuck down there. They're hosting Carifta this year, and they're gonna get their asses kicked. And it's not the athlete's fault. We're about to take like fourth or fifth place at Carifta, and we are hosting. And they talking about, oh, are you gonna come home for Carifta? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm not coming home for Carifta. If I want to see a massacre, I stay here. Anyway, let's talk about the weather or politics or something, because I'm literally feeling my heart rate like increasing.
Well, look, I wanted to say, I actually brought you on here publicly to talk to you about being my co-host on Spring Culture.
Being
I think it's time, man.
Host?
It's time, man. It's time, Ato.
I don't have that.
Let's take this shit over,
kind
man.
of time. I don't have that kind of time.
Let's take this shit
Plus,
over, man.
The problem with me and you hosting Sprint Culture is you're gonna say some of the crazy shit you say, and I'm gonna cuss. I'm gonna cuss really badly.
It's gonna be amazing TV.
I am going to cuss you really badly and hang up.
I bring the best out of you, man. Pause.
Let me. Yeah, no, did it? Somebody asked, "You'll never try to help TNT again." No. I'm not good. It's not that at all. It's that you're not gonna put back the people who sank the ship and think that I'm gonna help. It's like no. That I don't know if these people gotta die off or get fired or resign or retire or what, but no, I'm not going to I'm not gonna be involved with the same idiots that got us here.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. I mean,
it's a
at some point though,
because you know
I think
what?
they're gonna come back to you eventually.
How?
Especially
because
if the government gets involved or some higher ups are like, whoa, why isn't this guy helping? And this is the success we had with him. I mean, or especially if they embarrass themselves at home, they're gonna be like, we got to do something now. You'll be back, man.
You clearly don't understand the country I'm from.
Well, look, I could do you one better, man. Look, I got Aaron Brown as a guest host, Nathaniel Mitchell Blake as guest host. They're still athletes, though.
I watch.
Their schedules are sporadic. Warren Weir shows up.
I will commit to coming on your show. I can't commit to being the host.
Okay, so you could be another guest host. I just feel like you're above guest host.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, we'll do guest host, man, because this is great television, man.
Yo, how about we let
podcast?
How about you let your audience decide if this is any good before you proclaim it to be the greatest thing ever? Let's see in the comments if they're loving any of this.
Viewers, go to Unconventional's YouTube right now. Look up episode 4 and episode 2. Well, just look up episode 4. You'll see me and Ato. And I'm actually, you know what I'm gonna do? When we did 2 podcast pilots together, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna release some clips from that so you could see what we had going on. That's what I'm saying, Doc.
Who ruined it? Was it CBC that ruined it?
Yeah, they didn't want to pay you.
The romance with no finance is a damn nuisance. That's something from my generation you need to learn.
They dropped the ball on that because there would have been nothing like that.
You know what though? I'm not mad at CBC.
And the higher ups, a lot of them liked it.
I had before all of y'all had all these podcasts. I had a deal on Amazon, and I walked away from it because I didn't like it.
Why?
The short version is I was almost gonna do like a radio station where it's like, yeah, it's gonna be this, but I was gonna be like playing music and stuff. Because I was playing music from the Amazon catalog, they said the show would only get to be aired in the United States, and I was like, how am I going? Me, Mr. International, Mr. Caribbean, all that stuff. How am I gonna have a show where people in Bahamas can't see it. People in Jamaica can't see it. People in Trinidad. People in St. Kitts, St. Louis. I'm like, Europe, no. And they were like, well, we've already given you this money. And I'm like, take back the money. I'm out.
For real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's not a good situation, I
I
mean, it's not a good
listen, at the
situation,
end of
yeah.
the day, I'm at the point in my life, I am 21 years into doing this now. I understand what I am and what I am not. I understand what track and field is and what it is not. But the one thing that I will not compromise on is we have some of the most amazing freaking fans of any sport. People who know all the stuff I know, all the stuff that I spit out on the air because it's all in here just waiting for, like, I don't know, a Jeopardy episode or something.
Hmm.
We have fans that know that stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
We do.
I am not going to insult. I'm not going to insult. I'm not going to ever want to insult our fans by putting something that's out of their reach. And I felt like if I did a show and it was like, yeah, and of course it was Amazon, so huge, huge, they were going to make a huge splash about it. And I'm
Yeah,
like, how am I going to do this and then say, yeah, but only if you live in the United States? I couldn't do it.
yeah,
I
that's tough,
couldn't do
man.
it. But I will agree with you that what we had started in the beginning, before that got derailed, I really felt like that was
Absolutely.
really gonna be good. It really was. It
We'll bring
really
it back.
was.
I am gonna release some of the clips. There's some really, there was one clip I remember. I think it would be pretty funny when you were talking about Nasser, and I was like, "There's no way she's gonna beat Shawnee." And then we were talking about Sydney and Delilah, and
All the stuff that you had to figure out
no,
after I told you.
Delilah gave her licks that year though. But I mean, we saw what happened with Sydney, so it's whatever. So Sydney was obviously became an enormous star, but no, there was a lot of I'm gonna make a couple clips. I'm gonna make a couple clips and put them out there because I think the people will be like, yeah, we need more.
I need to see
100%.
this mini doc before you reveal it. I don't know.
No,
I
I'll
don't
let
know
you see
what's
it.
coming in this mini
No,
doc.
I'll let you see it.
Okay.
No, you remember the conversation. I mean, it was.
It was
I was a
like
lot
it
more. I
was
was a lot more calm.
49ers. It was NFL stuff. It
It
was
was NFL
okay.
stuff.
Here's something I
We
want to
talked
talk
some
to you
LA stuff.
about.
What's up?
Here's something I want to talk to you about because somebody asked me this today. What is your opinion about the whole Tyreek versus Noah thing?
I, I okay. I like the fact that track and field is in conversations. I love that. I just don't. I just don't think the fastest man in the world is in a seat to be calling out an NFL player. It's reversed. Like him calling out Tyreek, I think is good from a marketing standpoint, so to speak. But from a prestige standpoint, the fastest man in the world calling out some football guy is it's a little bit it's a bit confusing to
Fair
me. So
enough. Fair
I
enough.
think it's good. I like the fact that Noah's thinking big. I like that.
Fair enough.
So cool.
Now, what if I told you that Tyreek and Noah, I think, have already planned to run this year? And what they're doing is they're using the public to drum up support. So Tyreek said something on his live, and then Noah comes and does that on national television, and now you get the conversation. Look, I don't like when Noah does stuff like races. What's his name?
Speed,
What's the
speed.
speed? I don't like that, but I also understand. I'm an old ass man. This is a different generation. They do shit there's a lot of stuff from this generation. That's the way life is. The
Mm-hmm.
older generation looks back and they go, so I didn't like that
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like, why you the Olympic champion? Why you racing people off the street?
Right, right.
But I understand. I understand. He ain't doing that race for me. And I ain't got to cover it. I can watch it and be like, okay, that
Right.
was a little closer than it should have been. With Tyreek, I disagree because I feel like with all of these grand slams and all of this other stuff, I think we are closer than we have ever been to having half a race with NFL guys and half a race with pro sprinters, the way it used to be back in the day when America couldn't get enough of that.
Right.
So I'm like, I shouldn't say a lot of, some of you that are rejecting this whole thing of, Noah should, let it happen.
I want to
Because you
see it.
can't, on the one hand, want for track and field to be more
I agree.
mainstream.
I agree.
And then when you see something like that, go, I know ain't got no business racing nobody. They're not worthy. It's like, let's let it happen.
No, I want to see it. I want to see it. It was just. It was.
You
It
would
was. It was
Watch though, like if they had a
100%.
big race like after U.S. Nationals or something, and they had and Speed got invited, that shit would be fire.
No, 100%. Yo, a big event could come out of this, and I
So
want it to. I want it
that's
to
why
happen.
I'm like I'm shutting my old ass up and letting them do what they're supposed and letting them go back and forth and have the banter, and I'm like I'll be here
They
for
should
it.
do it, but I prefer Tyreek continuously call him out, and then he kind of be like, "All right, cool," as opposed to vice versa. But it doesn't matter.
But
However it happens, it happens.
in this generation, they're gonna say Noah's a punk because they're gonna say, "Oh, Noah, you always yapping. All you do is yap, 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 yap. Somebody called you out. You ain't got nothing to say."
Yo, I seen a picture, a post that Tyreek put up in some Adidas gear the other day, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I see what's happening here." I Once I see
I
the
think the
the
fix is,
Adidas
and I don't have any
affiliation.
inside information. I just think that.
Well, Track World News said they announced the date already. I didn't know they
Oh,
announced
really?
racing, but I didn't hear anything about that. What day did they say they're racing? Track World News.
Again,
Let
this
us
is
know, because
this is. I have enough stuff to cover. There's certain things where it may show up on my radar, but I don't really follow it, and
I didn't hear about that.
I just believe that those two have already planned. They've planned all of this, and they're just basically playing the public. And NBC tagged me in that video. They invited me as a collaborator on that video with Noah. So the good news is, well, yeah, I get more followers because people, see it and follow me. The bad news is I get to read all the comments back and forth. Oh, the people who hate Tyreek for saying it, the people who hate Noah for he's not Tyreek, and you can't even play in the NFL. And I'm like, you know what? It's working. It's working because
It
what
is.
it's doing is it's making the public pick a side. Who you are? You team Noah or you team Tyreek? And that's brilliant.
No, it'll be a big
That's
spectacle,
brilliant.
man.
Yeah.
But he can't lose. Ryan Banta saying, "Answer, do you hesitate because you're worried that Noah
Lose.
won't win?"
What distance would Noah lose to Tyreek at now?
The he I'm a bit iffy about the 40. I wouldn't be able to say 100% Noah's going to win the 40.
Unless Tyreek is training like a madman now and shedding 30 pounds, which he is not because he's trying to leave here, Miami. That race ain't gonna be that race is gonna be like all hype and then a blowout. That race ain't gonna be as close as you think. Even if it's a 40.
Okay.
Tyreek
I'm just saying
ran what did Tyreek run the last time he ran a 60?
670.
I thought it was 6'8", but okay, even if it's 6'7".
7-0. So I mean he ran against some Masters athletes. He wasn't being pushed. And a 40 is different though. 60, if it was a 60, he's not coming close to Noah. 50, he's not even coming close to Noah.
So in other words, you're saying make the distance shorter to give Tyreek a better
That's
shot.
what they're gonna do. If they really want Tyreek to have a shot, it has to be 50, less than 50. If it's 50 or more, Noah's gonna annihilate this guy. But if it's 40, he's gonna try to catch a flyer.
You
And
know
then if
what
he
the thing
catches a
is
flyer,
though?
then it's a problem.
I don't know if we have any Australians here. They may be asleep this time of day. Australia does the Starwell gift every year. You know about this?
What is it, circuit?
No, the Starwell gift is a meet in Australia.
Okay. Oh, where there's handicaps. Yeah. I seen that. It's pretty cool.
In my meet, if we ever get it done,
Uh-huh.
that's how we gonna make the playing field even. Oh, your PR is 9'8". Sorry, your PR is 9'7" 2". You go to the back, and then we put 9'9", 10 flat, 10'1", 10'2", close to the finish line. Now let's race. Let's make it equitable. The Starwell gift is standing room only every single year. It is a phenomenal meet in Australia. Doesn't get a lot of play over here, but I think it's like I don't want to watch Noah blow out Tyreek or pull away from him. I want to see it where if Noah is off his game, he loses, and if Tyreek is on his game, he wins. So I think this whole thing of putting guys level,
Look.
putting guys level to run. mm,
So you
If
want to
you
give
want, if you want to
you
see
want to give
Jake
them the
Paul
handicap
versus
and give them a chance.
you want to see Jake Paul versus Tyson 2.0, no,
No,
nobody wants to see that.
no.
It was one sided.
Right, I agree.
So
But in any way, shape, or form, right? Noah cannot lose that race. It can't even be close. If it's close, it kind of
it would
discredits.
be awful. If for some reason that happened, it would be
It would
awful
be
because now it's like,
over.
damn trackers, them sprinters always talking and look Tyreek. That would go viral.
Bet it. It would erase. It would erase
It would be
us.
bad. It would be bad. Tyreek Hill beats the Olympic 100-meter champ. That would be so so
It
so
would.
so bad.
It would erase us, dog. That
That would be
cannot
so
happen.
bad. That
That
would be
cannot
so
happen,
bad.
man. So it has to be whatever happens. It has to be like Anthony Joshua and Ngannou. It's got to be a vicious knockout. It's got to be a vicious
Yeah.
annihilation, whatever they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's where I'm at with it, man. So
Absolutely.
look at, ladies and gentlemen, Ato is going to join me again after Melrose, but that's not going to be live. We're going to pre-record that. That's going to be a part
Okay.
of the first episode, season 3, Spring Culture. Actually, on that episode, I'm also going to have Kyle Merber, director of racing, Grand Slam Track, all separately, by the way, and Andreas Travlovsky, the founder of Jumpers World. A lot of funny shit going on in field event world right now. Yeah.
Oh, can we talk just briefly about how awful it is to change this damn long jump?
You see, you don't like the new rule.
No, I do not. You are
Uh,
fundamentally changing the event. You know how many fouls Carl Lewis and Mike Powell and Bob Beeman had that were like damn near 30 feet? So now the first person who has any real ability, it might be Echevarria or one of those guys. They're gonna smash Mike Powell's record. You tell me that's fair? So I'm gonna
Omar,
so
tell me
I'm
what you
gonna
think about
move
the
the
new rule.
3 point line closer and give you credit for breaking Steph Curry's record.
No, but listen, okay, mind you, my wife is a long jumper, okay,
I'm aware.
and she's very against. She loves the board, okay,
Big shot
but
there.
but I'm looking at it, and she kind of is like, okay, I kind of see what you're saying. I don't like so many fouls, dog. I don't. It's just too many fouls, and they changed the plasticine now to where you can't even nothing could go over that line. Not even your little. It's like they're trying to catch people too much. I don't want to see no red flags all fucking meet, yo.
Oh,
I want to see some
so
jumps.
you want marginal fouls to count in a big meet.
I want, yeah, and I want to see people
So
going
how
for
did
it, man.
Carl Lewis and Mike Powell and all of those guys like survive all of those years when
Okay,
a
but watch
foul was
this.
a foul? It's
Okay,
like
hear
the
me.
NBA now with everybody traveling and then they're surprised why nobody's watching the freaking NBA. It's like because the product sucks.
Okay, but hear me out. Do you not think it would be good for the product if there was more jumps, more long jumps?
Okay, I may even concede that.
Eh,
Until somebody jumps 30 feet and makes all of the greatest long jumpers in history irrelevant,
that,
and then they're gonna say, "Oh well, maybe we should make a new like you know what's gonna be like the old javelin and the new javelin." There's a list,
or
there's an all-time list for the old javelin, and then they're like, "Okay, when we went to this new javelin, that's a whole different thing, and now you have a
right,
new javelin list."
right.
I don't like that. And you just said you're a purist, Mr.
I'm a
Purist. You're gonna
purist.
change the long jump?
Well, listen, it's called long jump. It's not called hit the board. It's called long jump. Can I see some long jumps? I want to see some long jumps. I have another video coming out actually where Jade was talking about a compromise. There's a
What's the
compromise.
comment? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well, I don't want to ruin
Yeah,
that by
well,
asking you
it'll
what it
come
is.
out. We put one out before, but there's more to it now. Since the stories come back, we're gonna put some more out. But there's here's another thing about back in the day. All track surfaces were the same back then. So now you go to a meet, runways are different all the time. It's different surfaces, different
Did
environments, it's different
you just
weather.
say that all surfaces were the same back then?
Yeah.
No.
Well, in comparison to now, I mean, now there's plenty more surface variations than there was back then. Come on, dog. Not
Okay.
everyone could compete.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
everyone could train on Mondo. I
Okay.
seen Tentagu saying he's not doing the long jump ever again if they do this
Who
right.
said that?
Obviously, Tentagu, the
Tentacle.
Olympic
Yeah.
champion. So I don't. That's
But he
probably
already
not the
has two
truth,
gold
but
medals, so he's straight.
yeah. But the thing is, like, I'm sure where he trains, he's probably training on Mondo all the time. So he's probably got no issues with varying surfaces and conditions
But
and
what does the surface have to do with changing the fundamental nature of the event?
Because when you change your stride pattern and the speed you're coming at the board with, that and you're trying to hit a 22-inch board, 22 inches, whatever, at full speed, or 18 inches, whatever it is, a small amount of board you have to hit. The faster you go, the more difficult it becomes. If your steps are off, that everything's off, and with all those variables, including the track surface, the variables are changing all the time.
I call absolute and utter bullshit on that. Name a long jumper faster than Leroy Burrell and Carl Lewis. So how'd they manage it?
Because they didn't have
Dwight
variable
Phillips
surfaces.
Dwight Phillips was a 6'4",
No,
60-meter
but
guy.
imagine that with variable surfaces. With
Oh,
variable
this is
surfaces, it makes it a
such
lot
a
more
cop
tricky.
out. Oh, this is such a cop out.
At all.
This is such a cop
Come on.
out. Oh, well, the
It makes
surfaces are
it's a
so
factor.
fast now. We got to give them a range because can't nobody possibly hit
I
that board with all this
if
speed
everyone was
they're bringing.
training, if everyone was training on Mondo year round, I'd be like, all right, but they're not. I want to see more jumps,
My
man. I don't want to see no red
brother,
flags, man.
this is where you are headed east or somewhere, and I am headed like southwest, bro. I could not disagree more. But
Let me ask you another question. Wouldn't you prefer when it's in the latter part of the round, you just see people going for it? They're just going for it. They're not worried about they got to hold back a little bit because of the board, and they're just going, dog. You wouldn't prefer to see that?
no, no. You know what I prefer to see? You know what I prefer to see? I prefer to see Tiana Madison last jump Olympic final, right? Tara that just won
Tara.
in,
It's Tara.
excuse me, Tara. I don't cover the long jump. I ain't got to know her name right. I knew her long before she was famous. My point is, I want to see them on the runway, the whole stadium going clap, 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 and they have to channel their all of their athletic ability and get their steps right if they want to win a medal or the gold. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see just run down there and if you hit close enough, sure, and then we give you the gold medal.
I
No,
think I think the
and
board is
you, as
important.
a purist, should be against this
No,
change for the long
no,
jump.
I don't want to get rid of the
And you're
board.
married to a long jumper, so that's
Okay,
two strikes.
okay, but I don't want to get rid of the board. I want to keep the board. But that's
You
what I'm
want to
saying.
keep the board, but make
There's a
it
compromise.
irrelevant.
There's a compromise. No, it's relevant, but you see the video, yo. But it's. I think there's just more to it than just. I want to see people. I want to see some jumps, man.
I want to see jumps too, but I like the whole. I like jumping for a little bit of accuracy too. I like having to find the board. I like watching jumpers have to figure out what the wind is and check up or measure their steps. I like that. See, you're too young.
You're a purist in some ways and not a purist in others.
If you got to sit in that state, and I wasn't there, but that's the. I literally came into the sport because of the '91 long jump final. You didn't
Okay.
know that.
No, I
I
didn't.
sat at home and I watched, and it was, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, with Carl versus Mike Powell. And I thought I was like, whatever this is, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So yeah, I'm not just a purist, but I understand that some of the greatest long jump battles ever meant, oh yeah, this person was probably jumping better, but he couldn't find the board.
But yeah, let's just change the name to board hitting. Why? Let's just do it. If it's that big of a deal, why are we calling it long jump, man? Let's call it board hit.
Why are we calling it the 100-meter dash when you turn people out for false starts? It's like because there's rules to it.
That's different, though, man. Come on,
What's
man.
different about it? Oh, you only like rules when it's sprinters.
No. I think with
You only like tight tolerances when it's sprinters.
no, I'm saying for everybody, it's exactly the same when it comes to false starts. It's not exactly the same for jumpers. Like I said, there's
It's not.
variable. No,
I'm
there's a
sorry,
bunch.
I didn't realize they changed
No,
the
there's a
board
bunch of
when it's a faster jumper
in
coming down
every
there.
jump. In every jump, there's different variables, and no one's. We're not. They're not jumping all at the same time, Doc. They're not all jumping at once. It's not. They're not lining up and jumping at the same time. So someone has different wind. Someone has different. Someone has a headwind. Someone has a tailwind. Someone has a side wind. There's all kinds of different things happening. So it's not like it's the same variables for each person. Some person could have the perfect wind behind them. Someone could have a huge headwind. There's too many different things changed. So it's not the same as the start of a race, and because everyone has the same start.
Listen, man. I give you a props on inviting me to host or guest host or whatever the show, because you and I disagree on like you and I disagree on
Be
so
good
much shit.
television. Be good television. Be good television. So like I said, guys, Adam's going to be joining us next week. That episode's going to come out either next week or the week after, but he's going to have some cool things to say about um, Melrose results. And also, we can lead into World Indoors and we can talk some Grand Slam track. I'll have some interesting stuff for us to talk about. There's going to be a big announcement, ladies and gentlemen, TFN wise. But most of the episodes are going to be coming out on the Track Field Network YouTube channel. We're going to start pushing that a little bit more. So if you're not following the YouTube channel for the Track Field Network, go ahead and do that. And also, what else do I want to let you guys know? I think that's it, man. The hoodie stays on for the lives. It comes off for the new sprint culture. I'm being a bit more serious, Adam.
Well, I'm
A bit more
burning up because
serious.
it was 80. I'm in South Florida where it was 80 something degrees today. So I was trying to get with the Hood Brothers thing with you and Fred, but I'm literally like sweating
Yeah,
my ass
it's
off.
very cold here. It's very cold here. Big up Ato Boldon. Don't got my gunshots, but you already know what it is. So yeah, we'll get up next week, yo. Respect. We talk, yo. Viewers, I'm gonna catch up with y'all, man. Big up everybody. Follow Track VM Network, follow Unconventional, do all that. Ato Boldon, and check out Melrose this weekend. And the sprint lobby. If you're not in the sprint lobby watching what's going on,
NBC 4 p.m. Saturday. NBC 4 p.m. Saturday.
y'all heard. And the sprint lobby, I'm opening up the responses to what we're saying in the sprint lobby. That's the channel I got on my Instagram channel. Fred's in there, Trayvon's in there, Aaron's in there, Freddie Crittenden's in there, and Nathaniel's in there. There's some dialogue going on during the meets. Open up replies during track meets, guys. All right? Keep it in mind. Big up yourself, Otto. Have a good broadcast there, and we'll